Parents, I'm so happy to be teaching your kids this year and happy to be an Islander. I am brand new to this school, but this will be my 5th year teaching, and I come here from Lake Washington School District where I taught at a choice school there. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm going to go kind of quickly through this because this is my 4th time trying to record this without going over my 10-minute limit. So excuse me for going so fast. Feel free to email me afterwards with all of your questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. So quickly, classroom setup, we're going to have asynchronous tasks and synchronous tasks. So the asynchronous tasks are things that students will have to do on their own at home. And that includes watching our lesson videos, taking notes, homework, and other assignments, where our synchronous time is going to be dedicated to practicing and building up those skills. And that synchronous time is so valuable. So it really is important that students watch the videos and take notes before they come to class so we can jump right into it. My pre-algebra schedule, I only have one session, so we will always meet on, or I only have one period, so we will always meet Mondays at 11:35 for 25 minutes, and then Wednesdays and Fridays at 11:05 for our 55-minute sessions, okay? Videos will be posted after my Wednesday and Friday classes, and homework and skills practice will be assigned after my Wednesday and Friday classes as well. So I only post one video at a time so that students can really focus on that one lesson and they're not confused at what the focus is. So once one video is posted, then that we have that Zoom session, then I'll post another video so that we keep kids focused on what they should be focused on. All right, my pre-algebra, or in pre-algebra, we are starting off with an introductory unit to kind of get kids' brains going again and to remind them of some of the skills that we really need to have down pat before we jump into pre-algebra. So the introduction unit is going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing rational numbers, converting repeating fractions to decimals, and practicing some things with order of operation. And then I'm jumping into what I call a mini unit where we're going to be going over simplifying expressions and complex polynomials. And then from there, I'm hoping to get to our first full unit in the middle of October. But that's when we start our EdGems unit. And your students' homepage should look similar to this. So I encourage you to jump on their homepage because you can see all of the different units that we're hoping to get to this year, along with all the separate lessons or specific content that they'll be practicing and learning in each lesson. All right, grading. So I do use a traditional grading system where 75% is based off assessments, so tests and quizzes. 20% is based on assignments, homework, and MREs. And MREs are an assignment that allows students to practice various skills and practice thinking about why they chose a certain strategy to solve a math problem. And so that is part of our assignment category. And then the last 5% is participation. So materials that your child will need for my class is a math notebook. And this should be separate from other classes. It should be just dedicated for math notes. Scratch paper, so this should be separate from the math notebook where we're taking our official math notes. This is just paper so that they can scratch down different, solving different problems that maybe we're not putting in our math notes. This could be as simple as used printer paper, the back of used printer paper. So doesn't need to be anything special. Then colored pencils, pens, or fine-tipped markers. You don't need all 3 of those, just have at least one of them. A ruler, a printer. This is not required, but it might come in handy. If you don't have a printer, please don't run out and grab one. We can figure a way where I can print it at the school and you can pick it up there. So we'll figure it out. If you don't have a printer, it's really no problem. And then iPad apps. So I'm requiring students to have Schoology app downloaded. Notability, which is where some kids are choosing to take their notes instead of an old school notebook, and where it's a fun way to, if I download, or the students can download worksheets on there and do work on them without printing them off. So that's really nice. And then also Google Jamboard, which is a whiteboard app, and it allows us, it's like having a mini whiteboard in front of them, and we can all see the mini whiteboard. So you can see multiple kids' screens at one time, which is going to come in handy. All right, communication. The way I'm going to communicate with students is mostly on Schoology. So the video lessons, assignments, updates, calendar, dates, and I use Schoology messaging a lot when I message students. So Schoology is a base and a hub for students to communicate with me, and where I'm going to be communicating with students. Email. Students are free to email me, and I encourage them to communicate with me often. And I also really want to open my email up to you. Please email me with anything that you might need, or questions you have, or concerns at any time. Zoom, so meetings. I'm obviously doing Zoom classes with students 3 times a week, but also I'm open to meeting with parents. I've done that with a couple parents already. So please message me if you would like to have a Zoom meeting. Skyward is where you'll find grades, and I do use Skyward messaging when I send out group emails, but it comes to your direct email, so you might not even notice that. And then Week at a Glance, which is an overview of what's going to be going on that week, which I will upload on Schoology in the current week's folder every Friday afternoon, so that you can see it before the weekend comes around. All right, I do have some expectations for students, and we went over this in class, and we discussed different expectations that they have for each other and expectations they have for me. And I was very happy to say that everyone has just been so respectful and thoughtful so far. And so I don't think any of these things will be hard to come by. But I expect students to be prepared to check Schoology calendar and Schoology updates, to read the Week at a Glance, so you know what to do and when to do it. And also, along with Week at a Glance, that Schoology calendar is a great place to find what needs to be done. And I encourage you as parents to also keep up on that Week at a Glance, so you can kind of help hold them accountable. And then view and take organized notes on the videos. I should have added before class to that. And then lastly, ask questions complete the homework assignments and check the answers. So homework, again, is a place for kids to practice skills. So that's why it's low risk. So it's only worth 20% of their grade, so that they don't feel pressured to get 100% every time. So this is where they should be practicing skills and should be honest with their checking the answer and correcting their work, so that when I see it, I know I can get a glimpse at to what they're understanding and what I may need to build on yet. Ask questions. So you can I'm expecting them to ask questions while we're live, but also if something comes up outside of when we're in our Zoom sessions, Schoology's always there, email's always there. And questions are so important when we're virtual, because that lets me know, another way to let me know what students are understanding and what students are struggling with. And then we will be having exit tickets and quick checks during the week, so those should be completed by the due dates. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and please email me with any questions at all. I'm looking forward to an interesting but successful year. Thank you, everybody.